In the podcasting life, they must fight to survive. Shackled by the chains of the past. They're the biggest of geeks, cause they watch every week. Subscribe to see if they can last. Go, go, Ranger Danger. We can't ever stop. Go, go, Ranger Danger. We will podcast till we drop, probably forever. Yeah, whatever. Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger, Dino Charge.
Welcome once again to Ranger Danger Dino Supercharged. This is the podcast where everyone has a secret, but can they keep it, Tim? Oh no, they can't. I decided I'd try Matt's gimmick.
I mean, it's
pretty fun. I dig it. That was a little bit of Maroon 5.
Don't know how it feels coming from you. That's all. It's just
I left out the line before that was a little too sexy to be saying to my brother after dinner on a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just, this isn't that kind of podcast. People bring their kids here.
Do they? Oh, God, I hope they don't.
Well,
I'm so sorry.
maybe
kids.
some babies in some cars.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
babies is okay, right?
Man, so they're going to be some cool babies.
They're going to be the rad babies. So, no, this is a podcast where we watch Power Rangers Dino Supercharge and then we talk about it. As
what we do.
always, am Michael. This week, Matt had a lot of work to do. So we
Busy
are
boy.
joined by Dino Supercharge, sometimes co-host, Tim.
What up? I did a
You did a
gesture.
whole wave
You
thing,
can't
but
see
you
it.
absolutely cannot see it. Tim, how have you been?
Busy. Also busy, but good, honestly.
You nearly finished uni.
Mm-hmm. Busy boy.
Lots of work to do.
Yes, but powerful, ranging.
I'm hoping the last couple of episodes of Dino Supercharge will come out once you're done with uni. So I'm hoping
sweet mercy. Yeah.
maybe we can see you for a couple of those
Yeah,
of
for
towards
sure.
the end of the season.
For sure.
All right, a couple of things to talk about before
do it.
we... first of all, a huge shout out to Michael Ruffalo, one of our listeners, co-host, ex-guest host, who got us mentioned on Australian terrestrial radio today as we record this.
How's that feel?
Pretty weird.
Just what happened exactly? Can we get a rundown?
Apparently, so Hamish and Andy, who Americans, if you're not familiar with Hamish and Andy, they're probably one of our main comedy exports.
Do you reckon?
You guys might have seen a clip going around a couple of weeks ago of a guy who was like the greatest Australian.
The best bloke ever, the
best
reference.
bloke ever.
Yeah.
Where they did a thing where they called a random number and said that they were putting them down as a reference for a job interview.
And asked if they would...
Even though they'd never spoken to the person before, would you be a reference for us? And they lucked into the best
bloke on
guy
planet
in
Earth,
the
yeah.
country.
Absolutely.
Who just rolled with it, never technically lied except a bit.
Well,
Other than the part where he said he knew him, but definitely...
he told some lies. That seems like an interesting way for you to read it, but okay.
mean, very, very definitely spun it gently.
Yeah.
Didn't yes, he is my best friend and I've known him since childhood.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because there's no reason.
But so that's Hamish and Andy. They're excellent. Everybody likes Hamish and Andy, I think. Some people don't like Andy. Those people are wrong. Andy is... even Andy knows that Andy's not as funny as Hamish.
Well, you can't both be Hamish and Hamish and Andy.
There has to be an Andy in the thing.
Hamish and Hamish is more of a law firm, honestly.
It's also a bit too intense, right? There has to be someone to anchor it a little more.
It's true. There is.
So anyway... they were doing a segment about how weirdly niche some podcasts can be.
Oh my gosh, really?
And so Michael called in and spoke to them for several minutes about us.
Amazing.
I'd been told that is in the podcast of today's episode.
Right, so
because they
we can...
podcast the radio show. I have to look into that.
Yeah,
but I
absolutely.
will definitely put a link to that in the show notes if you want to check it out. I know I definitely am going to.
Would you have Hamish and Andy on the podcast?
Tim, I've already tweeted to them asking if they'd come on the podcast.
It's only the right thing to do.
I mean, I would have them on a podcast in a second, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not only because they're hugely popular and would be a great ratings boost for us,
Yes,
but
that's true.
also because I think that they would be great on the podcast. I feel like we're working up slowly towards Hamish and Andy.
I feel like Hamish and Andy have the right attitude.
Yes.
To come into a weird episode of probably... I mean, Zio's seems like perfectly weird at this point.
Of all the, like, I think it would be beautiful to just drop them into the middle of 1996 Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And say, I mean, we've had two hosts who've hosted programs on Australian broadcast television.
That's true.
On this podcast. So I feel like eventually we could get to Hamish and Andy.
Yeah. Everyone tweet at Hamish and Andy.
Oh, I mean...
No, that's weird. Don't do that.
That's maybe, like, because there's only going to be, like, 7 of you. And I love all 7 of you who tweet. But,
definitely tweet at our podcast and use the hashtag Hamish and oil prices.
please don't do that.
I'd love to see some of that.
No one will understand what that means.
Michael,
if I can be honest, I don't really understand what that means.
Comedy giants like Hamish and Andy need to understand that you have an audience, a captive audience. Please don't go anywhere. With in-jokes, with history, with legacy.
Right.
Hamish and oil prices.
Like the classic Hamish and Andy goof, Hamish reads Fred Bassett cartoons live on the radio.
See?
That was a good one. Anyway, so thank you, Michael. Like genuinely, that might be I know I keep saying that things are the coolest things people have done, but until one of you fuckers gets us on TV,
well, it's only going up.
Yeah. So that's a good segue to say that this is the end of Ranger Danger Year 3.
Yeah.
Which is super intense. So tomorrow, our Ranger Danger 3-year special...
Oh, that goes up tomorrow?
It'll go up tomorrow. That's Ranger Danger Family Feud.
Although, does this go up today?
No, it's tomorrow after the episode airs. I've already
Oh
corrected...
my gosh, he's so good. What a professional.
Once you've been doing this thing for 3 damn years...
I don't even know what actual day it is.
You're a uni student. No one expects you to.
I don't need to know.
I know. So tomorrow, as you're hearing this, assuming you're hearing this when it comes out... Ranger Danger Family Feud. A bunch of our favourite guest hosts came back for it, Tim included.
Me included.
We had a lot of fun, and I think you guys will have a lot of fun. And then I have to mention that the Wednesday after that, Ranger Danger Zio starts. And it's a doozy of an episode to start with, and we're super excited about it. This is the last episode of Ranger Danger Year 3. Before tomorrow kicks off our 4th year of this podcast.
How's that?
So, there you go. There's also a thing with the Power Rangers sword from the movie. Did you see that, Tim?
No, I didn't.
You didn't? So, they've revealed the sword for the Red Power Ranger for the movie.
Okay.
Have you seen what the costume looks like?
Look, ages ago, yeah.
Okay. Well, his sword looks like this. And so, Tim, you can't see it. I'll put a link in the show notes in case some of you guys somehow haven't seen it. It looks like his hand goes into it, and then some sort of energy, surrounds it.
Do you reckon energy?
Is
there another image?
There's been, an action figure with a blue translucent bit around it.
Sweet. You know what? It looks really cool.
It looks really cool, doesn't it?
Because when we saw the suits, I think everyone's response was like, no, that looks really cool.
Yeah.
They'll sell those in droves.
Oh, I mean, I hope so. And I hope that means that we get all 5 power weapons and the power cannon. If Zack doesn't have an axe that's that cool...
I don't see why... Well, I mean, I guess I do see why not, but it'd be a
give
real...
the Red Ranger, his special...
Yeah, but it'd be a real disappointment if they weren't all cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially because all their weapons are cool.
Yeah.
And, with a treatment like that... Mwah.
Yeah.
I just did an Italian finger kiss.
Everything about this movie is a real roller coaster of
of facts.
And when you guys are hearing this today or tomorrow sometime, we will probably see a first trailer.
Oh, really?
So we're not going to be able to react to that live because Matt's actually away this weekend. But be sure that we will talk about it.
Is there a release date?
For the film?
Yeah.
Yes, March 17th, I want to say.
Next year.
Unless, no, March 17th is the Iron Fist release date. I think it might be March 24. I think it might be the week after.
Getting soon, honestly.
It's like less than 6 months away.
Yeah.
So we're psyched about what is probably a trailer. We're just...
Man, how's 2016, huh?
Yeah.
Power Rangers movie.
Yeah.
Wild ride.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have heard what I've said about our third year of this podcast, which I have to also mention, like Kyle Higgins and all the amazing interviews. I interviewed 2 other Power Rangers. We were on a BuzzFeed list. We've now been mentioned on Australian terrestrial radio.
Do you have to say terrestrial radio?
Yeah, well, I don't really...
There's no
Can I be
Australian
perfectly honest?
extraterrestrial
I'm not
radio.
really sure why they use that word in that context, but all the people who talk about radio seem to. So, yes, you're correct. There's no alien radio, so I'm not really sure.
Hamish and Andy, if you could
I
tweet at
guess
us...
satellite radio is the other thing, but I don't really know what that is.
If-
I assume all radio uses satellites.
Well, I mean, in some way.
Anyway.
I mean, radio uses radio.
Look, we do a podcast because we don't know what radio is.
It's
okay?
true.
So
It's true.
radio is magic, right?
Radio is just podcasts with a dedicated building, I think.
Let's not go. We could talk about that all night.
Hamish and Andy, tweet at us an explanation.
But we have to watch an episode of Power Rangers,
We do.
and you have to get home.
Yeah, yes.
We're on a pretty limited time
Lift that
frame.
veil,
But
yeah.
This is the last episode before the end of our third year, and I just wanted to thank all of you guys.
It is true.
And we are going to just kick on into next year. Yeah. It's going to be a good one, I hope.
More phenomenal.
Oh,
Too much?
a little too much.
I take it back.
We are going to watch... I don't think I said this yet.
You didn't.
We're going to go watch Silver Secret. It's
Ooh.
episode 823 of Power Rangers overall. It's episode 14 of Power Rangers. Tim, can I give you a really quick catch-up?
Yeah,
on what-
please, because I've missed like 4 months.
Okay, so they discovered
1
the
month.
Silver Ranger's Zord,
Which
which is
is?
a big Titanosaurus, like a Brachiosaurus thing.
Sweet.
And it forms into its own Megazord with a giant motherfucker of an axe. It's super dope.
Sweet.
Then they got a message from the Silver Ranger. He's in space. And he was like, quick, send me all the details of your Zords. And everyone was like, I don't know about that.
That's sus.
And then Keeper was like, no, do it. We definitely should do
Oh
this.
my
I know.
God.
Buddy, I know. I know.
Jesus.
And so last week, conniving
Derek.
I was trying to say also his real name at the same time.
I know,
just
you threw yourself.
Conniving Derek has been overthrown by a new guy called Lord Arcanon. Mm-hmm. He's evil, and you'll see him this
Is
week.
that who old mate was on the phone
Yes,
to?
so Singe works with Arcanon.
Yep.
And is also working with a guy called Doomwing, who is
Doomwing.
like a burnt chicken.
I don't think he would appreciate
You
that.
will see him in this episode.
Uh-huh.
So we don't know who the Silver Ranger is. We've just seen him morphed. Mm-hmm. We know that there's probably something sus going on because they sent him all the details. Oh, and then last week, those guys came to Earth and were like, and now we can control your Zords. So
Oh, okay.
definitely,
All
like,
right. It's fine. Everything's fine.
definitely something going on there, but we don't know what. I suspect we will find out in Silver Secret.
I'm not so sure.
But, so we will be back in a second.
Let's do it.
Thank you, guys, and we will see you then.
Ranger danger, Ranger danger.
When you're ready.
Born ready. Bants. All my pants. I only have one really pair of pants. I'm always pantsing.
Do you really only have one pair of pants?
That I leave the house in pretty much, yeah. That'll change as summer begins, but I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Do you have pants shorts?
Yeah, boards.
Okay.
Those aren't even on air.
Oh, God.
I mean, they are, right?
Keep the boards on orts.
Okay.
And we're back.
We are back. We are front.
So, Tim, you haven't been on in a while.
No, it's been a little while.
What did you think?
So good. This show's so good.
When it's good,
Man.
there is nothing like it.
Look, it's not like it was a perfect episode where I'm like, that was awesome in every regard. But like, we're going to talk about some cool stuff that was really cool.
Yeah.
And that's...
And, like, a dumb comedy subplot that
Oh.
actually was occasionally, like, funny and touching and, like, you know, well
yeah, and had a
handled
good goof in it. And
Yeah.
whatever. It was a really great show.
It's the show, like last week's episode was like that as well.
Uh-huh.
Last week's, in fact, the A plot and the Ranger B plot like tied together really well.
Yeah.
And so I just, when the show is good, I really love it.
For sure.
And like, I'm hoping that what this means between this one and last one is that we're now like powering through towards the finish line, and that means that we're going to get a lot of good episodes in a row rather than like there's no time for filler now. There's
spotty content.
There's 6 episodes left. So,
well, I mean, they could squeeze filler in if they wanted, but hopefully not.
And I mean, look, we've got a Christmas special and a Halloween special coming as well.
Yeah.
So I imagine both of those will probably be clip show episodes.
Yeah, and there's space for that in those episodes.
Yeah,
and
but
that's
I just
fine.
hope that in like the main plot stuff,
we get
we're
good.
just
we do
driving
good
through.
stuff.
Will we take it from the top?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Chase is friends with one of the NZ boys.
Have we heard of the NZ boys?
Several times. Like, they have been more consistently referenced than basically anything in the first 3 seasons of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah, well, it's not hard, is it?
Like, but I love it, right?
Yeah, because, well, why not? Like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you do that?
We know that they're a boy band from New Zealand that are One Direction, and they've got that one song that is so close to What Makes You Beautiful that it's shocking no one's been sued yet.
Still legally distinct,
I
baby.
don't even know that it is.
Well,
if you gave that to Harry and Liam?
that's 2 of them.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Niall.
Yeah, 3.
Zane.
Uh-huh.
And the other one.
That's correct.
That's definitely all of them.
I couldn't even tell you his name.
Louis.
No, well,
Or possibly
Liam's the other
Lewis.
one.
They're like... Everyone,
No, Liam's the other one.
There's Harry, who
Yeah.
is like a legitimate.
Yeah.
There's Zane, who quit first and also
Yeah.
has music.
Yeah.
There's Niall, who's got a dumb name. And then
Well,
there's...
it's just Irish.
I repeat what I said.
It's rough.
And then there's 2 more of them.
That's interesting that you say that because I feel like Louis is really the second one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay.
And then Liam, who I really want to call Adam every time.
Oh, I mean...
It's like, he's the last one,
I
right?
mean, look, I could name a couple of One Direction songs, but that's about the limit of my...
Yeah, like, I want to travel the world.
No, that's the NZ boys.
Ah, they got me.
That's how they get you.
They got me.
So, the NZ boys are adding another singer to the band. Mm-hmm. I wish that we'd gotten a subplot about how one of them had quit, and there was rumours that he'd been told he had to quit drugs, and he wouldn't do that, so he quit the band.
Michael, you're already stealing their music. How close do you want to cut it?
Like, exactly.
Like Razor Blade.
I wish the one we'd gotten had been, like, English with floppy hair, and, like, I wish we'd gotten everything.
Well, yeah.
But anyway, for some reason, instead of that being like a reality TV show or a ginormous international ordeal, they are just holding restaurants at a local small town dinosaur cafe museum.
Well, you know, audition's got to happen somewhere, right?
Well, I mean, anyway. So, Shelby is like, this guy is not just a singer, he touches the hearts of a whole generation. And then she spills her bowl of chocolate all over his penis.
Well, I don't know if you can say that.
I mean, I can say that. It's barely a euphemism, too.
I am uncomfortable with spills her bowl of chocolate.
His I know you are. His name is Rata, which the credits spell Rata. I guess maybe is a New Zealander name.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Anyway,
Well,
Tim will look it up.
I'm on the case.
So Coda, ever the puppy dog, is like, oh, maybe Shelby can sing for you. And then follows up with, she wrote a song and 3 bars of Life is Like a Triceratops.
That's a great joke.
It's like, it's beautiful because it's a thing that happened on this show 6 episodes and the show hasn't forgotten it. In like, so many other seasons of this show would just, like, characters have got characterization for 1 episode and then move on. But this is like, Coda knows that Shelby can sing and that she wrote a song. And Coda is the best.
But he doesn't know that that's not an appropriate song right now.
Yes. Coda's the best. And Rada says, well, you know, we were thinking about adding a girl to the group.
It's true.
And Tyler is not impressed by this handsome, charming New Zealand fellow.
Salty boy.
Who is also an international rock star. I can see why he's threatened.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I mean, he's a Power Ranger,
Yeah, look,
which they always downplay.
Yes.
Like, you are literally like a space superhero with magic powers. Like,
Also, while bonded to the Energem, immortal. I don't want the show to think that I've forgotten that, because I suspect they're going to just ignore it. But I really would like to make it clear.
Well-
You said, while bonded, they are immortal.
as in cannot die or will not die.
Will not age, possibly?
Right. So not unkillable.
We don't... Look, the show did not go into the specifics of their immortality.
Seems irresponsible to me. That's all I'm saying.
I assume they can die, because they're always going like, oh, we're in danger.
Well, yeah, they're always going, "Ugh."
Yes, I think just like won't age.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving right along. Also, Kendall's got news. They have to get to the forest right away because the Silver Ranger is there.
Distress call.
The episode is not sure which of those is more important.
Neither am I.
It gives them basically equal weighting.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's not that the Silver Ranger stuff is a disappointing payoff. Because I really dug what we got. But it kind of feels like it could have been 2 episodes.
Yeah, it could have.
Instead of, like... I worry... What it feels a bit like is we spent a lot of time on episodes where Coda becomes a baseball star. And now are having to rush through some stuff.
I mean, does there have to be an NZ boy subplot though? Like if you're gonna do an episode where Coda's a baseball superstar,
Sure.
Like, and obviously there's a monster component there as well.
Yes.
But the fact that Coda becomes a baseball star is the best part about that episode.
Yes.
As charming as it was, I don't care about the NZ boys.
Sure,
I don't.
but even, like, with how much emphasis this show puts on that part of the episode,
Yeah.
that could have maybe supplemented a weaker monster plot.
Yeah,
You know,
for
like,
sure.
we've-
No, absolutely.
It's 2 really, like, strong stories
in the same
episode
Yeah,
where one could have dealt with it. Anyway, let's move on. So they find the Silver Ranger limping out from behind bushes, morphed. And he says, look, Arcanon captured me, but I managed to break free. Mm-hmm. And Chase is like, well, let's head back to the base. And Tyler says, hold on a sec.
Hold the phone.
Do you remember that thing that happened where we sent the Silver Ranger all our stuff and then they could control our Zords? And remember how fishy every part of this is?
Pretty sus.
And Arcanon says, well, no, look, the Silver Ranger says, Arcanon forced me to create those fake Dino charges and I retrieved all 9 of them, so I've got them all now. And Riley's like, all 9, huh? All 9. Flashback to last week.
They found the 10th one.
They found the 10th one. And Riley's like,
What about the 10th one?
you said you didn't make a 10th one. And the Silver Ranger's like, yeah, right, I'm evil, fuckers.
Yeah, like,
ready to go?
No effort whatsoever. No effort.
I like seeing those characters be smart.
Oh, yeah, finally.
Right?
Jeez, yeah.
Like, Keeper's still the worst, but...
Oh, Keeper's a moron, but like...
Even for, like, to give Riley that chance to go, no, I've got the 10th one in my pocket. This is suspicious.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like, just between the 8 of them, or 9 of them, someone has to put 2 and 2 together, you know what I mean?
Yes. So, he draws his gun, which is like the regular Dino Charger guns, but it's like blue and silver and red. It's really cool.
Different paint job.
So, holy shit, show. They just morph, and we don't do a morphing sequence.
Now, I've been saying this for literal years, right?
We've been doing this podcast for 3 years.
We see the morphing sequence, but it happens instantly.
Yes.
Like, you kind of... If you put any time into thinking about it, it has to be that way in universe.
And there's one time at the end of Countdown to Destruction where we see, like, the morph happen without the morph.
Yeah.
And it is just an explosion and they're changed.
Yeah.
Like...
Because that's the only way it makes sense.
Yes, it doesn't make sense that they're, like, standing still or in another dimension or whatever they are.
Yeah.
It must just happen.
It happens, and that's for our benefit. And, like, that's fine. That's a television thing.
Yes.
But fuck, it's cool when it just happens.
So cool. cool. And you can do it because you've done the other thing for 2 seasons.
Well, not for 2 seasons, for 20 years.
But once you've established we do a morph, we cut to a thing. As soon as you don't do that, you are saying, like, this is important. We are just getting right to
I
it.
mean, specifically what happens in the moment is he's like, oh, I'm evil. I'm going to shoot you right now, and just shoots them, which is such a great evil plan.
Yeah.
And they're like, ah, and transform immediately, and Tyler starts running forwards.
Yes, out of the explosion
Like-
that happens both from their morph and the lasers hitting.
Like, that moment sucks if you have to stop in the middle.
Yes, exactly.
And so they don't, and they're just like, oh, it's go time, off we go.
It's just so good.
Cool.
There's a couple of bits like that in this episode.
Yeah, it happens. You know what? I wonder if it'll, like, happen more.
I don't know.
I kind of hope not, in a way.
I like maybe when they fight and beat Arcanon, you know, like...
Well, it makes sense in this moment. Like, it would be cool if they just did it, but it makes sense because it's reactionary. Like,
Yes.
they have to right now, so it has a sense of urgency.
This isn't like, we are stepping up to the plate, we are transforming, the fight happens now.
Because that the morphing call does that.
Yes.
The morphing call
That's the
achieves
point
that.
of it, right? It's a call to
Yeah.
arms.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
hey guys, this is on. This is, we are starting now.
Well, yeah, you're starting on the defensive.
Yeah.
And I would kind of like to see it remain that way.
Sure.
But it does make me think about, like, it would be cool to see in the movie going forward and, like, later on, if there's more, like, they step in and, like, morph as one fluid motion. Like, that would be cool to see.
Just a willingness to do it. I think one of the things Matt and I have talked about is, you know, the Super Mega Force finale where all the old Rangers came back. If you're not going to let all of them have a morphing sequence, which I understand because it would be like 15 different morphing sequences.
It would take
in a
8
row.
years to watch too.
It would drain all the momentum out of that. What they should have done is those guys show up in civvies and then this shot panning across
You know what?
all of them.
I wouldn't do that shot exactly. I would do a shot where they all go in sequence.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
that's
but
even like...
yeah, not all morph at once,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, someone says it's morphing time, and we just bam, 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 bam through. Like, if you wanted to spend a day on the shooting, like ram the camera around and through, and like, you know, close up and zoom past, and like, just really, you know what I mean? And that shot
and like
then,
it starts in front and ends up, but like, or spends some time behind, like looking at the bad guy
Yeah.
as they all power up.
and then like just the amount of stuff you could do with this show if this show had like enough budget that it could do it.
There's a shot that I'm picturing where like, and you know, like the fighting in Supercharge isn't what it was in Mighty Morphin, for example. Like,
No.
it's different, and that's not better or worse, but it's different. And there's a shot I'm picturing, I don't know where it fits, but like where one of the Rangers like runs in at the enemy and then like ducks a punch unmorphed.
Yep.
And then morphs like body first and into like morphing into the fist, and the fist like connects in this like power gut punch. Like, this show could be cool.
Yeah. And when it is, it's so cool that it makes up for how not cool the show often
That's
is.
exactly what it is. Like, these episodes peppered throughout 3 years of podcast are like, we should keep doing this.
Yeah, and like, I'm glad that they keep doing it, but God, imagine if this show was this good all the time. Okay, we cannot keep talking about that because this is a really heavy episode and there is a lot to talk about.
In fairness, this was the best thing about it.
It was
Like,
the
it
best
was.
thing. There's one other bit in that fight at the end that, like, I
Yep.
think I actually said "holy shit" out loud, but that's the best thing. Anyway, so Tyler charges him, gets thrown away, and the Silver Ranger uses like a super punch, knocks them all down, and he demorphs, and it's Doomwing.
It is, which I didn't know, but I mean, you can kind of put it together.
Yeah, I mean, if you told you there was a guy called Doomwing,
Yeah, if I had to guess.
yeah, which is fine, and that's a pretty good look. That Doomwing costume.
It works.
It's
Yeah,
like-
absolutely.
And then he does a shift and all of a sudden he's like the not burnt version of Doomwing. So we are going to learn that this character is called Xenowing, and basically what's going on is the same thing as Heckle and Snide have.
Yes.
Except both Heckle and Snide are evil.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of works as a relationship.
Yeah. This is Xenowing is a good guy.
And the Silver Ranger.
Yeah. And Doomwing is a bad guy. And, man, this is so good. Shelby interrogates this guy at gunpoint. She's like, no, hold the phone.
Yeah, well, he shifts to Xenowing and says, don't shoot, I'm a friend. And she's like, I'll shoot you. You just tried to blow us all up.
Yeah, God almighty. So he's like, look, Arcanon forced us to share a body. I'm the Silver Ranger. Doomwing's got the Energem in his sword, so I cannot morph. But, that's the situation going on. And so they're like, oh, we'd better find a way to separate them.
Yeah, I mean, this is hasty. This is where I go, all right, like, two-parter would have helped.
Yeah, one part leading up to the reveal that they're two dudes in one body.
Yeah, stop there.
And then the second part is, okay, let's separate them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, we're 6 minutes into the episode and we've already gotten to this bit, so
it's true. Let's
just keep powering through it. All right, so he switches back to Xenowing because they've got a much to Doomwing. Sorry, they've got a much faster turnaround.
Apparently, yeah.
And which I guess you could attribute to Heckle and Snide have got an agreement where they don't like each other, but
well, Heckle and Snide obviously have a time situation.
Yeah, they've agreed that they're both evil.
We take turns
as long as we take turns, at least that'll be fair. Whereas these guys are both vying for control constantly.
Actively, yeah.
So they change much more frequently.
Yeah, for sure.
So he, switches back into to Doomwing. Xeno sounds evil. It just means, alien, but...
I know.
So he switches back into Doomwing, grabs Tyler and flies him into a mountain.
Yeah, into it a cliffside and holds him there.
And he reaches down to Tyler's belt. It's a little uncomfortable.
It's raunchier than I wanted.
He just puts a little tracker on Tyler's belt. And then flies away.
Well, throws him into the ground and then flies away.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's, a very important part, I think.
Typical.
And then so Tyler calls Kendall, but also sees the tracker. And again, what we're about to get, Tyler gets to do something clever. And Tyler's not an idiot. He saw something weird. He figured out a quick fix, and they will use it to their advantage.
And it's so much more interesting, when there's problems that are confronted, and you're like, we figured it out. We're on where we have the advantage.
Yeah.
Which obviously you can't do every week. I appreciate that. But the opposite is they seem like total idiots, and that's not fun to root for.
Absolutely. So Keeper is all oh, I'm so relieved to hear Xenowing is alive. He was my apprentice. Which we know because he's terrible and useless.
Well, we don't know that.
I mean, he's not great.
He could be.
Maybe. Keeper did a cool thing one week when you weren't here, and then he went straight back to, let's send the bad guys all the details.
Yeah, he's kind of a fuckwit.
He's so bad. All right. Anyway, Tyler puts his communicator into the aquarium, and everyone is like, Tyler,
what are you doing?
This is a strange thing that you've done.
Yeah.
And he says, no, look, he put a bug, clearly. We're just gonna...
This guy's watched some TV. It's fine.
I know what a... But look, I've seen this thing a lot in the past year and a half.
I know when there's a small round flashing thing on it that's not meant to be there.
Right, and I know when a weird Birdman touches me in the crotch, so...
It doesn't add up.
I am aware of what's going on.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm across it.
We'll plan, and then once we've figured out our plan, we'll let them hear it, and then we will be able to just hit them when they can't hit back.
Oh, man, and when we get to that...
So, on the alien base, we hear Wrench and Doomwing listening to it, and Doomwing says, all I hear is water, where are they? And Wrench says, oh, they're by a stream, or in the bathroom.
Good joke.
Nice little joke.
Good joke.
Oh, all right. So, Kendall's built some prisms. So
I don't know about this, man. I don't know.
you know what? Here's what I'm going to say. In lesser seasons of this show, they'd just have been like poles. And at least prisms are a thing that splits. Like, I know it's nonsense, juju
No,
bullshit
that's
nonsense.
not my problem, man. Here's my problem.
Oh, is your problem the example that they do?
So they get these 4 pyramids.
Yes.
And Kendall explains if we put them in like a cross formation, they project some sort of wave into the center and they're going to split Xenowing and Doomwing is the idea. It's like, okay, cool. I think it's crazy that this thing that you just encountered, this problem, you're like, oh, I know the perfect remedy.
Yep.
But then the way they test it is by getting a bonsai tree that is grown so that its roots have like wrapped around a rock.
Yep.
And they put this thing in the center, and I don't remember who it is, but someone says, so Doomwing is the bonsai tree.
Yep.
And has captured the rock.
Yep.
And then they...
Sounds right.
Kendall presses the remote control, and 2 green and 2 purple, like,
Beam
energy
triangle, yeah.
wedges meet in the center at the bonsai tree, shake it around, and then the rock is just next to the tree.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Does
Does
it
that
make-
not sound right to you?
Oh,
Separation beam? That doesn't know?
fuck. Oh. How are the beams... How do the beams interpret narrative separation? Because that's what you're talking
The
about.
beams
here.
have read the script, so they just know what they have to do.
Oh, they're like, oh, and then we do the tree. Right.
I think the best part is, once that happens,
Mm.
Coda just yells, "Rock is free!" Because
Coda's the best thing.
Coda's the best. Alright, so that's the plan, right? Split them. They're going to have to amp up the power. So while they do that...
Look, that at least makes sense.
Yeah.
As like, it's
People
ready
are-
for now, but it's
people are
not
more
ready
complex
completely.
than trees. That's definitely true.
Yeah, and like alien birds even more so.
Yep.
Fair cop.
So now we have to talk about boy bands for a bit.
Ah.
So Shelby is reading a book called You Can Sing,
Yes.
and she's practicing.
Mm-hmm.
And Kendall goes over and says, "Hey, what the shit?"
What are you doing, mate?
And Shelby says, "Yeah, I need to learn to sing and dance in about an hour." And Kendall has absolutely zero time for it. Look, I'm not going to say that anyone on this show is like the best actor in the world, but Claire Blackwelder playing Kendall has perfected, I do not have time for this bullshit.
Well, I mean, you do it week to week.
Like, just nails that look on her face.
Absolutely.
And so she says, "Look, I studied music for 3 years, and I bet you she like studied some sort of classical music at a fancy academy, right?"
I mean, she wears a power suit.
Yeah, that's how you know. And so she's like, "It's okay, I'll teach you." And then we cut away to just something beautiful. Chase is training Tyler in the art of
Boy banding.
boy banding.
Performance. Confidence. Singing into a banana. Whatever you want to call
Whatever,
it.
yeah, you know, it's a lot of different things. Tyler is terrible, and he has stage fright.
He has stage
We
fright.
learn. And so he tries a thing, and he's not very good, and there's an adorable dog watching him.
For some reason. Well, I know the reason.
The reason is so that he can roll himself up in a blanket, and I don't know why the rest of the episode isn't just the dog doing and undoing that.
Because this was a good episode.
That's what I said, Tim. And then look, Tyler is terrible, and Chase basically just sits him down and says, "Buddy, she is totally into you.
You need to tell her.
She has wanted to bang you for like 18 months now. Can you just like stop fucking around with this boy band? Just
Just tell her.
just tell her.
Just let him know.
You've missed Tim. Chase has always been a piece of shit and will continue to be a piece of shit until the day he dies. But Chase has developed this like really adult, responsible relationship with a girl who knows he's a Power Ranger.
What?
And like she found out because he had to woo another girl because she was a Vivix. Look, this
It's fine. It doesn't matter.
this
It
show,
doesn't. I don't care.
buddy,
That's fine.
You've missed so much, and it hasn't been that long. But so, like, Chase has got this really responsible adult relationship thing going on.
And is now sharing wisdom.
It's really nice for him to get the opportunity to go, like, listen, I know a lot about girls.
Yeah.
This one likes you.
Yeah, it's fine. Chill
Stop
out.
this nonsense. And just, because you cannot do it, it
Yeah.
will not work for you.
Yeah.
Why don't you just,
Try the other thing.
try the other thing.
Fair enough.
He's not going to do that.
Well,
I mean, it kind of, but...
well, yeah.
yeah. So, at the auditions, Shelby auditions, she's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think she's joined One Direction good.
The NZ boys.
You know what I said?
Hashtag one NZ boy.
There is only one NZ boy. We don't see any... You'd think all of them would go to the auditions to choose a new...
Phoning it in.
Unless there were only two of them and one of them quit.
Yeah, he's the only
He's
NZ
the
boy
only
left.
remaining NZ boy.
Although they seem pretty specific about the fact that they only need one more.
Yeah, because now there's two.
Seems like a low number.
Oh, boy. Anyway, so she's pretty good. Coda is just... So Coda and Chase and Ivan are just watching
Just
from
watching.
the cafe.
Just being gems.
And Coda just... I mean, all those guys great, but Coda just getting into it.
Yeah.
And so Tyler comes up and they're like, right, it's Tyler next. And Shelby's face just goes, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
going down,
be.
yeah.
Okay. And he's not good.
No.
He's not good. He doesn't have to be good. You know what? People don't have to be good at all things.
Well, no, Power Rangers don't.
Yeah,
Especially.
Some people are superheroes from space and don't also have to be world famous rock musicians.
Seems like you're being silly.
Yeah, maybe I am.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Shelby rescues him. She says, actually, we're better as a duet. Would you mind if we just, tried that?
Just give us a minute, though. I need to... Just 1 second.
Yeah. So she tells him, Tim, what's the secret to combating stage fright?
The secret to combating stage fright is... Imagine that they're all pineapples and not scary people.
Right. That makes...
Now, you hear that line, and a hope wells up in you.
I mean, what happens if you are Timothy is you start chanting the words, give me the shot.
Give me the shot.
Give me the shot.
Because you know what you want in that moment. You don't what is it, apart from us, a kid's TV show, you don't say, imagine them as pineapples, and then not cut to them and watch them transform into pineapples.
When it's good, it's good.
Thank you, sirs and madams.
It's dumb, and it's even a little childish for this show, but
you have to.
Yeah.
You have to
and
in that
just,
moment.
The pineapples are wearing the glasses and the hat of those people. It's
good.
So they sing Definitely Not What Makes You Beautiful, and I'm shocked that they haven't been sued yet.
Yeah, well.
So anyway, they're still pretty good.
They're fine.
I mean, what we definitely cut to is a pre-recorded, pre-tracked vocal.
Oh, sure, because the microphones are nowhere near them at all.
But it's a kid's show.
That's
whatever.
fine. It doesn't matter.
So the guys are like, yeah, and you learn to work as a team or something.
It's whatever.
And then Coda wants a go. And, just let Coda have a go. As they're dragging him off, he says, but I want to travel the world.
It's a good show.
I hope that the end of this season is Coda gets to go off and have adventures.
Yeah.
Because, Coda was a caveman. Coda got unfrozen in the present, quite recently. And has been a Power Ranger.
Has been very busy, yeah.
I want, him and Ivan, who have nothing tying them to the world in particular.
Should roam, yeah.
Tyler and his dad will go off and be a bit more of a family. They'll take Shelby with them. Chase will go back to New Zealand.
Yeah.
Riley will stick around with Kendall to science and stuff.
Yeah.
But Coda and
Ivan should go. Yeah.
Prince Philip, so they've got
Prince Philip funds them.
Unlimited money.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they just wander the world righting wrongs and are you telling me that you wouldn't watch that show every week?
It's a good show.
Because two guys who don't know anything about the modern world, have to catch a train.
Yeah.
And Ivan thinks it's a monster, and Coda's just amazed at how fast it is.
It's a good show.
It's a great show. Power Rangers, guys, if you're there, I will write you 2 seasons of that for free. Guaranteed.
Would you?
Yes.
For free?
100%.
I guess if they were going to make it, you'd be like, yeah, thanks, boys.
If they're gonna make that show no matter what, I will be the person who writes it.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So now it's time to do some science.
Well, I'm apprehensive about the use of the S word, but that's fine.
So we're down at it's not really a quarry this season. It's like a clearing in a forest.
It's like the dirty section of the park.
So basically, Tyler says to Shelby, or Shelby says to Tyler, like, what the shit was that?
Yeah.
What? And Tyler's all like, I really want to, I would like to have sex with you, please.
I just thought that if I did what the big, tall New Zealand man does...
I thought if, on top of being a space-based dinosaur superhero, remember that time I jumped out of a spaceship? Remember how cool that was?
I thought dancing would make you like me.
I thought dancing and singing were the thing I would go to. And Shelby is like, oh, hold up. You're a Power Ranger.
You jumped out of a spaceship, my boy.
Also, I wanted to bone you prior to that, even.
Yeah.
Like, I was down to clown all the time. I don't know what words young people use for sex, Tim.
Hashtag down to clown, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't use any of them.
Oh, boy. She was down to clown.
Yep. Is that not a thing?
Oh, it is now.
I'm sure it's already a thing.
Chiseled into the Rosetta Stone, like ding, 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 in all 3 languages.
In Italian, that's il down to los clown.
Okay, so that's not... It seems weird that you picked Italian.
That's on the Rosetta Stone, maybe.
No.
I don't think it is.
No, it's...
Well, I don't speak Greek, Tim.
No. Well, you don't speak Italian either.
That's also true. Okay, in French, it's la down dos clown.
No,
I speak English, Tim. I have a podcast in English. This is not a multilingual
I'm
podcast.
so angry.
Oh, boy. Okay, so Shelby is like, hey, if you survive this shit, just...
I'm down to clown.
Let's go do some clown.
Yeah.
And they're about to make out, and then Coda interrupts.
What are you guys up to?
And Tyler's like, "Oh, we were looking for you."
And here you are.
He looks so happy when they say that.
Yeah.
I love him.
Great shot.
I love him so much.
Precious boy.
So Tyler's ready now. Mm-hmm. He pulls his communicator out of a glass jar.
I'm not sure why it's in there, but okay.
And now it's time for them to act, which we all know involves a set of cue cards.
Yeah, well, obviously.
So Kendall's holding these like exactly written line for line cards.
Yeah.
And Tyler is poorly acting off
Reading them out, yeah.
And basically what he's saying is like, okay, I'm going to go confront this guy. I think I know where he has to be.
I'm going to meet him in McCadden Park.
And Shelby's like, it will be dangerous. You shouldn't go alone. And Tyler's like, I will go alone because I must. And so on the evil ship, I guess it's excused because all of them are aliens, but none of them even like pause for a second.
Well, and they're also dramatic in how they get around anyway, like...
That's the thing. They just assume that everyone is constantly making speeches at no one in particular and like delivering the description of their plan because that's what happens on that ship.
That's what you do, right?
All right, so everyone except Tyler morphs and hides. Mm-hmm. Oh, Kendall also doesn't morph because this show has forgotten that she's a Power Ranger.
Apparently, yeah. She's just a scientist at this point.
And then shit gets real. So, like, big booming drum soundtrack kicks in as Doomwing approaches in slow motion.
Yeah, like walking up a hill, like cresting a hill.
Oh, yeah.
So cool.
And then, like, actual pre-fight banter that is threatening and menacing and, like...
Yeah.
So...
I'm leaving here with 2 energems.
Doomwing says, so kind of you to bring me an energem.
Yeah.
And Tyler says, I'm leaving here with 2. And Doomwing says, you're not leaving here at all.
Run done.
Yes.
So cool.
This show finally gets me. So then Doomwing holds out his sword and we see the energem like swiveling in the hilt.
And like crystallize
over the top. Yes. And then they run at each other and we get another one. They both say energize and we both get a running morph as they like run at each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because how else would it happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Of course that's how it happens.
I mean, like, there's a version of that where they both morph and then run at each other.
That's less cool.
I mean, it probably is.
It 100% is less cool than running in.
Because there's also the cool thing where they both morph by like shooting the dinosaur out of their gun and it comes around them, but as they're running and like just... Yes! Thank you, show, for finally just doing it. And so Tyler has to wear him down, which seems to mean take lots of punches.
Apparently.
So he takes a whole bunch of punches, and then it's time to fight back. He jumps in the air.
Classic, like, Superman punch.
Comes down to Superman punch. Doomwing, like, also punches.
Meets his fist.
Freeze.
Energy field, like, pulse waves from the fists.
Camera
Matrix
pan
rotation as
around.
they're frozen in space.
Boom, explosion.
Fucking cool, my dude.
I'm just going to say this. No fights have ever been as cool as the fights on Dragon Ball Z. Because what that show's fight choreography knew is when it doesn't matter what's happening and they can just fast burst at each other, and when to like freeze frame, slow down, this is what's going on.
Yeah. What's important and what's not.
And so like this is, we speed right through Tyler takes punches because it's just important that we show him getting hit.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
But
enough.
This is important that the Silver Ranger is his equal.
Yeah.
And that he's interrupting this attack and that how dope it will look. So we spend seconds on it.
Yeah,
and it
hovering
just-
in the air.
Oh, god damn it.
That-
when it's good, it's
It makes me
good.
feel good about the movie.
I hope so.
Because, like, I know that there's the potential for a well-choreographed fight scene.
Yeah.
And for the budget to support, like, the kind of thing we just saw and beyond.
And that's the thing, right? The stunt choreographers on this show are hugely talented professionals.
Yeah.
And I don't want the compliments we're giving here to, like, undermine the sort of shit it must take even for, like, 5 dudes in suits to fight 5 other dudes in suits.
Yeah.
But just when you get to a good one-on-one, the only thing this is missing is them both having a sword. And, like,
Yeah.
Tyler doesn't really have a sword. He's got, like, a blade thing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
like,
Fair
sure.
enough.
But I hope that, like, obviously Tyler will fight Arcanon in the finale because that's
Yes.
how it works.
Yes.
But I hope Coda and this guy get to go sword to sword.
Yeah.
And just, like...
Like, proper sword fight.
proper sword fight.
Yeah.
With explosions. That's all I've ever wanted. So, the result of that punch is that Doomwing is pretty beaten down.
Uh-huh.
And so they start to, like, split.
Well, Xenowings, like, starts to take over.
Yes.
At a precise moment where he's about to, like, slice Tyler's head off.
Yep. And so Kendall triggers it.
Uh-huh.
And they split.
Just like a bonsai, baby.
Do you think there's going to be any repercussions to Tyler
No.
having been caught in it?
No.
I don't know what those repercussions would be. Like,
I reckon if they were going to do it,
we'd have seen it at the end
they
of
would have
this
threatened
episode.
it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
What we see is Tyler, who is like somewhere in the like meeting the convergence of the beams, like goes, "Ugh!"
Yeah.
But I think if anything was going to come of it,
Yes,
they
we'd
would have
seen it.
threatened.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's probably, I mean, it's not too late to do it. Like, there's enough episodes to explore that
absolutely.
and come back and be ready. But like, I'd be surprised, honestly.
I mean, I'd have been tempted to split him from his Red Ranger power.
yeah, well, that's what you do.
And now he has to
Get it back.
get it back in time for the finale.
Yeah, exactly.
And
exactly.
that would be pretty dope. But also, sure, whatever. This is what we've got. So, Doomwing still has the Energem in his sword.
Yes.
And then he is Magna Beamed.
Yeah, well. You know what? It's still cool that it bounces off a satellite.
It is still
That's
cool.
still nice.
It's still cool. Much like radio, maybe.
I don't think so.
So, Kendall, of course, is like, I'll stay with Xenowing because I guess it's hard to fit 7 people in the cockpit.
Yeah, I don't do anything
I
much
don't-
around here.
I really like Kendall.
Yeah, she doesn't get to do a lot, hey?
No.
They don't give her a lot to do.
No, and it's a bummer because she's a Power Ranger. Like, whenever Prince Philip shows up, he morphs and does a thing.
Yeah.
But Kendall just...
like runs the cafe.
Has to be their mentor as well, because Keeper's so shit.
Yeah, but that as a concept is his fault and not hers.
Yes, absolutely. I hate Keeper.
So bad.
Anyway.
So bad.
So they basically just like straight all the... Okay, so Xenowing is like, I am going to... No, Doomwing. Doomwing is the bad one.
Really
He's
struggling
like,
with that.
I don't know why. He is like, I am just going to squash you because I am giant. And then all the Zords show up and laser him. Yep.
Don't fuck with us. We're Power Rangers.
Because that's like 1,000 Zords.
Yeah, it's a few at this point.
It's a lot. I think it's 10. I think they have all 10 Zords now.
It's more than we've had before.
It's a lot. So they trigger the Ultra Zord, which we saw last week.
Right,
It's
okay.
new to you.
Yep.
It's still pretty cool.
Pretty dope.
And so now that that's done, they're like, right, let's fight Xenowing. The fight's a bit... Fuck, Doomwing. Damn it. I'm going to get it right before the end of the episode.
I don't know if you are.
I promise I am.
Keep getting
So they do a brief sword fight with Doomwing.
I wish there was more of that.
Last week we got a really good one.
Yeah.
And like extended over a lot of the episode.
Yeah, cool.
But this week it's cursory because we've had so much other stuff to do. You know
That's
what
true.
I mean?
That's fair.
And at least we don't get any like shoddy CG stuff. We get dudes in suits.
Fighting properly.
What we get
yeah.
is good. We just don't get much of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is fine. So they're like, hey, maybe we should use Kendall's new attack. The shoot everything pot. Now look, every attack they've had for the last 30-odd episodes has been shoot a bunch of lasers. But this is explicitly the shoot all the lasers attack.
Yeah.
Basically what happens is all the Zords separate again. Just like staying there with their arms crossed and their heads tilted
Yeah, with
back.
sunglasses on.
And then just out of the part of the Titanozord that holds all the Dino charges.
Oh, you mean the shield cannon?
Just shoots all the lasers.
Heaps of lasers.
All the lasers. And we see Doomwing explode. And the explosion clearly obliterates him.
And then he's small.
And then he's small. Because... Yeah, that's... Look, yeah. That's... Yeah.
I would, for once, like to see a consequence to, like, getting hit by every laser imaginable.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, you know, like, blow a wing off. Like, give me something.
Matt and I were talking about this a couple of weeks ago on the podcast. Like, Wrench could die at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the show wouldn't miss him. He's
Yeah.
not essential in any way. Maybe, like, just do a consequence.
Do you think... I mean, I feel like killing is the wrong thing.
Like, certainly like a scarring or a wounding or something.
Well, like,
would be fine.
you blow one of Doomwing's wings off.
Yes.
Now he's angrier than ever. And, like, this... Like, you have some obvious thing to gesture to and go, he wants revenge.
Yeah, I feel like if someone other than Doomwing, even Doomwing could die, to be honest. Like, there's still Singe and Arcanon.
There's a lot of people.
And Heckle's still around. Like, you could kill those characters and the show wouldn't suffer.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, so Doomwing leaves. And basically, like, he's going to go back to the evil ship.
Yes.
And so he says to Arcanon, like, look, I've still got the Energem. And Arcanon's like, oh, buddy, Energems only bond with good people.
You're pure evil.
You can't morph.
You're an idiot.
And he tries to morph and he looks dumb.
Everyone laughs at him.
Arcanon is just straight up like, you are now worthless to
Yeah,
me.
you were handy when you were handy.
You
That's
have
not
value
anymore.
to me, not even in your ability as a fighter.
Yeah,
You just, like, if you are not a Trojan Horse Power Ranger,
I don't give a shit.
you are
I don't
just...
need it.
I was half expecting him to explode him himself.
Well, I mean, it would have been cool, right?
Yeah.
It would have been scary.
Yeah. It would have been like, okay, Arcanon does not take prisoners.
Yeah, Arcanon doesn't give a shit. Like,
No.
you're useless. Exploded.
Yeah. But then it would be hard to explain why Curio is still around.
It's true.
Because Curio has not had a use yet.
Rough.
I mean, it's not his fault. He's a dumb monster.
Yeah, but still, if you were coming in with the take no prisoners attitude,
Sure.
you'd like tidy up, right?
Yeah. Alright, so Xenowing's in the base. And Keeper is like, oh, it's Xenowing, my apprentice.
I hope even Xenowing is like, fuck this guy. Like, he's just like a weird uncle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Keeper's the worst. And then they were like, oh, Arcanon will stop at nothing to steal the Energems. As you pointed out...
Yeah, look, Kendall looks spooked. She's like, oh, no.
Functionally, no different.
Yeah, what? Like, what has changed? Nothing.
Yeah, like, definitely a difference in that we couldn't beat the last guy and this guy is worse. But, like, he still just wants to do the same stuff.
Yeah, the threat of he wants the Energems is like, oh, identical to the last threat.
And the threat before that.
So whatever.
Everyone wants the Energems. We get it. They're super powerful. You know what? None of us have died yet.
Yeah, you know who has them? Us.
We've got 9 of the 10. And
all I'd say is, in general, when you have the incredibly powerful thing that everyone wants, I'd kind of feel okay about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? All right, it's time to announce the new NZ boy. It's a girl from before.
Who cares?
And who cares?
Not me.
Yeah. So Rada comes up to them and says, like, you know, like, seriously, if we could have had 2, you guys were, like,
the ones
on the list. But we only need 1 new NZ boy, and she's going to be an NZ girl. And the scale of this band... This show doesn't understand scale in any way.
It's mysterious to be certain.
Like, if this is a world-famous New Zealand band, they just announce it, like, immediately after the tryouts. There's no impression of, like, a press release or...
Yeah, at all.
It's like when Coda started on a local baseball team and ended up 3 weeks later on, like, a national baseball team.
Okay, but he was a perfect baseball player.
Yeah, but it's just the scales that this show operates at are either too big or too small.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway. Rada asks Shelby out. He's like, I'm only here for a bit, but you want to go catch a movie or something? And Shelby's like, no, I've got plans. With the boyf.
Oh, God.
That's new slang.
She's down to clown.
I'm sure if I Google it, how many results do you think that there will be?
That's unguessable.
Do you want to, like, have an estimate in the number of millions?
I reckon hundreds of thousands.
2.5 million results, including an Urban Dictionary result for down to clown.
Do you want to...
There's several results for down to clown.
Interesting.
A phrase meant to convey your willingness to participate in something. Used here as a response to, would you like to knock some boots?
I'm down to clown. I love that it's in single quotation marks.
Also, to engage in shenanigans.
Yeah, to clown. That's fine.
But again, used in, did you see the hot girl last night? Yes, she was down to clown. So
I mean, that doesn't make any... That's that definition doesn't match that example.
Okay, and then it spins off into Urban Dictionary. So I think I might just have to leave that one there.
It sure does.
We aren't really a family-friendly podcast, but we're not that not family-friendly a podcast.
Oh boy, that's long.
Yep. All right. So Tyler and Shelby hold hands, finally.
Thank the Lord.
It took so long. Are they ever going to be allowed to kiss, or is that too far for this show?
I mean, they would have if Coda hadn't showed up.
Would they, though? Who knows?
Well, no, not really.
Anyway, that's the end of the episode. That was a pretty good one.
Sure was.
All right. We've got some stuff to do, Tim.
Do we?
Why don't we talk about... we should do the Ranger Danger Dino Charge creature feature for Doomwing, whose name I got correct that time.
Is it too soon, Wing?
It's hard to tell, isn't it? Because he might now be even bigger a deal because he's got Xeno Wing to, like, clash with specifically.
Yeah.
Or he might now just be a nothing monster because
he had his chance.
He had his thing.
Yeah.
Let's leave it and we can see what the deal is there. So I think probably let's skip to Fantasy Zordon. Now, a quick update for where we were at.
Let's do it.
The scale on Fantasy Zordon, the least number of points anyone has is 191. The most anyone has looks like it's 238. So about a 40-point spread.
Yep.
And you and your team and mine are almost exactly in the middle.
How are we doing?
Before this episode, I'm on 209. You guys are ahead by 8 points to 17.
Alrighty.
So it's very close. Tim, why don't you start?
You know, it wasn't great this week.
No, it wasn't a very strong points episode this week.
It didn't help that Kendall was around but did nothing like significant.
Sure.
Graphite at least gave me points for not being there.
Certainly.
Blue and Green, old mate Coda and Riley, at least gave me a Megazord formation and a power-up mode. So that's 10 points total, which is not awful, but not the best either.
Sure. So I did a little better than that. Shelby did the same Megazord formation and power-up mode, but she also did a bit of a morphing call.
She did? That's
so
true.
that's 7 points for her. Chase did that same Megazord formation and power-up mode for 4 points. The Aqua Ranger did not show up. The Silver Ranger did show up, didn't really do anything we score points for, but his Zord was used in the Ultra Zord.
That's true.
So that's 2 points for him. And he does not have long left to become useful for me, but that's fine. So at the end of this, it is so close.
Tight.
The lowest number of points is 204. The highest number of points is 248. So again, 40 points in it. And neck and neck. I am on 224. You guys are on 227. So
It's getting close.
I mean, it's getting close, and there's so few episodes of this show left.
Yeah.
It really could go either way.
Absolutely.
So there are 6 episodes of the regular show, plus
the
Christmas
specials.
and a Halloween. Speaking of, next week is the Halloween special.
Oh, nice.
So we will see what that is. I have no idea what that's going to be. It's going to be something super spooky, hopefully. But we will check that out. Tim, it probably won't be you because you're in the middle of uni stuff.
It is correct.
But it'll probably be me and Matt. And then after that, we're so close to the end of this show.
Yeah.
Again, thank you guys so much for 3 years of this stupid podcast.
Truly.
It means so much. You guys will never understand quite how much it means. Please tune in tomorrow for our 3-year special. I think you will have fun.
It's a good one.
And then next week, Zio, this show's Halloween special, all sorts of stuff. Just that sort of stuff, actually, not other sorts of stuff. But thank you so much, Tim, for joining us.
Yes, of course.
And we will see you guys next week.
Da, 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 da.
Wrong show.
Oops.
This is do 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 do.
Da na 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 na.
Da-da-da-da. I'll cut out the gap in post, so
Yeah,
it's
a good call.
yeah.